entertainment system.
If you really haven't heard of Nintendo at this point, you've somehow managed to avoid one of the most iconic video game companies of all time. What started as a playing card company in 1889 has become a household name, and for good reason. From its cast of colorful characters to its unique consoles, Nintendo has been revolutionizing the gaming industry for decades. Let's take a look at a handful of ways Nintendo paved the way for the gaming scene we have today. Helped the gaming industry recover from its 1983 crash by releasing to the American market in 1985, the NES has been credited more than once with saving the entire gaming industry. Where Atari struggled with quality control, Nintendo enforced a strict level of quality by limiting the games playable on the NES, which helped consumers regain their faith in the industry. Nintendo also increased sales by bundling in fun attachments like plastic guns and Robot Rob. These may not have lasted, but they were a sign that Nintendo understood that games should be about having fun. Oh, and the iconic D-pad? This is the original version. The NES is a blueprint for almost all future controllers. It's been over 35 years since Nintendo's classic platformer Super Mario Bros. Side-scrolled into our world. And across those glorious 3.5 decades, Nintendo have treated us to an absolute masterclass in action platforming. From the iconic level design of Super Mario Bros. World 101 through the groundbreaking 3D action of Super Mario 64 to the ever-varied capture mechanics of Super Mario Odyssey. Nintendo's flagship franchise has constantly been evolving.
Let's go!
Mario remains not just the face of the company, but, for many, the face of gaming as a whole. This speaks to Nintendo's ability to create compelling character designs and to its cultural reach. This is the game that would go on to become a sprawling world that includes staples in Nintendo's main lineup, like Mario Kart, Mario Party, Super Mario Maker, and others. Nintendo's ability to create iconic, beloved characters has seen countless other games trying for the same recognizability. When it first came out, The Legend of Zelda was admired for the complexity it introduced to the RPG genre. More importantly, and because of that complexity, the game introduced saving. Previous to this, you would have to pause your game and hope for the best. But because of the battery built into the cartridge of the game, you were now able to return to the place you'd been at before. This allowed the game to tell a much longer story and introduce more power-ups, and this game became the inspiration for hundreds of other RPGs. To this day, this series of games remains a Nintendo staple. Who does handheld gaming better than Nintendo? That reputation began in 1989, when Nintendo came out with the Game Boy, a device that would become the standard for, and synonymous with, handheld games. Because it was battery-powered and portable, you were suddenly able to play even the more complex Nintendo titles on the go. Also, the Game Boy was a cheaper way for people to enjoy games, at less than half the price of the NES, and it increased the market for games. And games could now be played anywhere, by anyone, without being tethered to a TV. Even today, the Game Boy remains at the top of handheld gaming. Beyond being a game that appeals to the human desire to collect things, Pokémon found its success in large part because of the tie-in anime adaptation. This served as marketing for the games, while giving them a large cultural impact even beyond those who'd played it. The incredible success of this franchise would try to be emulated over the years by other video games, but Pokémon continues to set the bar for what cross-media video game adaptations should look like. And Nintendo's mastery of multimedia continues with movies like Detective Pikachu and the wildly popular app Pokémon Go. 3D gaming owes a lot to Super Mario 64. It was the game that proved 3D graphics could work in gaming, bringing the analog stick seamlessly into the experience of navigating the open world. The game also changed the way that the camera moved, giving you control over both actions and camera movement at the same time. The game also took advantage of the 3D landscape to free Mario from having to navigate a specific path and instead move more freely in the space. Taking these things for granted today is a testament to Nintendo's revolutionary game design. At a time when PlayStation and Xbox were focused on making better versions of the consoles they already had, Nintendo released the Wii. It was a console based completely on motion controls, and many of the consoles came with a copy of Wii Sports. It's difficult to overstate how odd this choice was, but Nintendo's gamble paid off. Even in the face of the best-selling Halo series and the success of the PlayStation 2, the Wii drew in a diverse crowd of fans with its novelty, focus on family fun, and accessible controls. After the success of the Game Boy, and attempting to recover from the GameCube's low sales, Nintendo did something interesting. It added a second screen to its next handheld console, a touchscreen. This helped the gameplay-focused Nintendo's core mission to provide accessible, casual gaming, giving them a wider market than competitors. The DS also brought in online play, setting up trends like asynchronous social play smartphones with later use. With those touchscreen smartphones becoming more popular, it's not surprising to see elements of gameplay used on the 3DS and mobile gaming. Other consoles have also tried to emulate this function, to varying degrees of success, such as the PlayStation Vita. There is nothing on the market like the Nintendo Switch, which seeks to combine the best parts of Nintendo's handheld gaming, motion controls, and family-focused fun. On its way to becoming the best-selling console of all time, the Switch is both budget-friendly and has a massive library of games. Now you can play higher-quality games on a lightweight machine while also still enjoying the large range of party games with friends. No one else has managed to replicate the specific range of experiences that the Switch offers, though its creation has opened the door for other promising hybrid consoles, such as the Steam Deck. When Breath of the Wild launched in 2017, other games used most of the elements that Nintendo brought to life in this formula-breaking The Legend of Zelda game, but none that had combined them all so elegantly. On a technical level, the game is designed with sight lines in mind, smooth camera transitions, and minimized reliance on the map in favor of in-world navigation. These, paired with the elemental interactions, the climbing system, and the incorporation of small, interactive details into the landscape make Breath of the Wild feel like a massive puzzle, ready to be solved. Not to mention that, after the tutorial, the game is truly open world, even allowing you to go straight to the final boss. To see the impact this kind of open world has had, you can look at games like Genshin Impact. Nintendo didn't redesign open worlds as a concept, but it reintroduced a sense of creativity and exploration. Going forward, it'll be interesting to see what the next major development or addition will be when it comes to video game consoles. One thing is for sure, Nintendo isn't afraid to get creative and introduce exciting new technology. Let's hope Nintendo can continue creating innovative entertainment for many years to come. Please subscribe and hit the bell icon. Thanks for watching.